it can be a little bit of information overload.
It really can, yeah.
Because there's so much, and then you can move things around, and where which compared to other aircraft you don't have to do.
What's going on, guys? Casey Flower here, and welcome back to another trip report. Today we're going to be on not one but two Airbus A350s with Delta. There's our first aircraft right behind me, November 507 Delta November. We're going to be flying in this one from here in Detroit down to Atlanta, and then our second A350 is going to be taking us from Atlanta back up here to Detroit. So on the trip back we'll be in Delta 1, and on the trip back up to here we'll be in normal economy. So we got the best of both worlds there. I have just finished a 4-hour stopover, and even though I was technically SCAT priority for boarding, I didn't have lounge access to get into the Delta 1 lounge. It required a membership, which I was not participating in, so I had to skip the lounge today, unfortunately. It's annoying having to pay a membership just to get lounge access. Like, I get it that the membership is more exclusive, and it just makes you feel better and more special by getting into the lounge, and that it's more exclusive. But really, on some airlines, like with Alaska at least, they give you lounge access with the first class ticket. So I just wish that more airlines were like that. Like Delta's not like that. So anyway, yeah. Enough of me just ranting on about Delta, so on to the Airbus. I really just killed my time by thoroughly checking out the terminal since I didn't have a lot of time to do so when I was here back in November when I filmed the A330neo video. Okay, why do you start to think? I get that it's blocking the sun to cool the terminal and save money, but still, sucks for us plane spotters. Boarding was slightly delayed due to the incoming crew being late from the previous flights. Both the aircrafts I'll be on today were delivered brand new to Delta back in 2018. I boarded and made my way back to my seat of 7D. I'm not going to get into the detail with this because I covered it in pretty much whole in my Delta 1 review on the Airbus A330neo. If you are interested in that, the link is in the description below. The only big difference was that the control panels were in slightly different places. The places on the A350 were a lot better and less awkward to get to in my opinion. And the colors were different too. Another difference was that the odd numbers were the ones with more privacy than the aisle, in opposed to the 330 where it was the evens. And of course I had to go with the odds, but I was more interested in hanging out in the victorious A350 cockpit than my seat. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Hi,
good.
Welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Check it out.
Thank you, sir. Hi. This is my first flight on the 350, by the way. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's about as good as it gets, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's a beautiful airplane.
Yeah.
What do you think about how high tech it is?
About what?
How the technology aspects of it, how high tech it is?
It just has so many systems
right.
that you wish that you had on other
That's
other
really
planes.
true. Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just nice.
Yeah.
It's hard.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I'm an avid flight simmer, and I just got into the A350 relatively recently, and how different the cockpit setup is, and how the FMS is set up. It's just a learning curve to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be a little bit of information overload.
It really can. Yeah.
Because there's so much, and then you can move things around, and which compared to other aircraft you don't have to do.
Right. Yeah. Compared to something, say the 320 or the 73 or something like that. Yeah. So obviously this is a really short flight for the 350. So do you prefer the short hauls, domestic, or the long hauls with it?
I like the long hauls.
Yes, sir.
More efficient.
Yeah.
So you fly for 15 hours, and you're there, and fly for 15 hours back. And
there you go.
3 days and 30 hours. So it's,
there you go.
Efficient.
Yeah, out of all the wide body pilots I've talked to, that's what they said.
Yeah.
They prefer the long hauls.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be on a wide body.
That's really true, yeah.
Right?
And I don't blame you, yeah.
Otherwise, they'd be flying a 321.
It's so true, yeah. And this thing is built for long hauls, Oh
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
They give you a good seat back there at least?
I got Delta 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
For my first flight, I got this via business class suite.
Oh, you're gonna like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. I tried it on the 330neo actually back in November. Yeah. But yeah, how is your flight looking down to Atlanta?
It's windy down there. It's gonna be a little bumpy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty much the whole way.
Oh yeah?
Sorry.
There you go. It's all good.
This is quick.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Nice quick flight. What's the flight time scheduled?
128.
128? Okay, that's not too bad. After the captain was more than happy to let me up, I made my way back to my suite. I overheard one of the cabin crew explaining how Delta is using the Flagship A350 for domestic flights, as like the one we're on today, to show off their domestic passengers like myself. She then said that there would be no meal service since the flight is too short, which was a bummer because I was looking forward to seeing what they would have for lunch. It didn't really matter anyway because it was only an hour 20 minutes on reality. Pushback was delayed a little bit due to the packs taking a while to get all the heavy carry-ons in the overheads, but we were able to make up some time in the air.
When we get up to our cruise altitude, we'll get back with you then and update the weather and the estimated time of arrival. As you can tell outside, it's pretty windy, so on departure we do expect it to be a little bit choppy, so I've asked the flight attendants for the initial portion of the flight to please remain seated. If you would, please pay attention to the fasten seatbelt sign for your safety and those around you. It's also bumpy going into Atlanta, pretty windy down there as well, so we expect the final approach portion of the flight to be just a little bit bumpy, so we'll put you on the fasten seatbelt sign just a little bit early. Again, we ask that you just pay attention to the signs. We certainly hope you enjoy your flight with us today. We're glad to have you with us. Again, get settled and relax. Once again, welcome aboard.
On the IFE, there is a typical selection of TV and movies, Spotify for music, flight information, as well as an attached moving map, as well as the menu for the complimentary snacks and drinks. The settings on the menu included a power button, flight attendant call, suite lighting, brightness, and volume. For food, all I did was eat a turkey sandwich that I brought from home, cookies, and a soft drink. And after a quick cruise, we were on our way down into the mighty Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
Shortly, just about 180 miles to the north of the airfield. Should be on the ground in just about 30 minutes, and gate Echo 12 for arrival. Weather there hasn't changed. It's still really windy out in the west. Temperature is still 36 degrees, which is 2 degrees centigrade. Hope you've enjoyed your flight today. It's been our pleasure having you on board. This time, I'd like the flight attendants to prepare the cabin for arrival.
As we start our way down, and as I write this and vibe the Spotify playlist provided by the IFE, I'm going to talk about my unoriginal Raleigh rating scale. If you're new here, my Raleigh rating scale is how I rate my flights at the end of every trip report, but in this case, at the end of this flight. The service on this flight, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. So very good and professional cabin crew. They did what they could on the quick hop for the A350, so nothing wrong at all. The Wi-Fi is not applicable. The flight went by way too quick and I didn't even think about trying it. The cleanliness is going to be a 5 out of 10, so this is the only place where it struggled. So the cabin itself was fine, but the window shades were really loose and almost about to break off, so maintenance, you may want to take a look at that. The food on this flight, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The flight was too short for a scheduled lunch, so I'm not going to penalize it for that. So they gave me a snack box. I didn't see the AvGeek's favorite Biscoff cookies, so we had to go with the regular cinnamon cookies that they provided. So at the end, I did, however, find a menu inside the safety card for the main meals. If you want, you can pause the video to look it over. The entertainment, I'm going to give a 9.9 out of 10. So being my first A350 flight, the view of the Trent XWB was enough for me to gawk at for an hour and a half. I spent some quality time listening to the Spotify playlist too that the IFE provided. The one tiny thing I'm penalizing the IFE for though is it requires a pretty firm grip to make it effective. The seat on this flight, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So the seat was absolutely fine, nothing wrong, plenty of space, and just your average lie flat business class suite. The pilots and I are actually remarking in the beginning that when we land, I'm going to want to wish we're going to Seoul because that flight would be 12 times longer. So the overall Raleigh rating for this flight is going to be an 8 out of 10.
Before you leave the aircraft, please take a moment to check around your seating area, the floor, the seat back pocket, and the overhead bins for any personal items you brought on board with you today. I know a lot of you guys will try to get up in a hurry, but please don't leave anything behind, especially those AirPods. We do see a lot of people leaving those behind these days. We are coming into gate E12. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. On behalf of Delta Safety, our global partners, and especially this Atlanta-based crew, we enjoyed having you guys on board. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a wonderful weekend and a week ahead.
Alright, and that is my first Airbus A350 flight officially complete. Right now, I'm kind of just like wandering around the Atlanta airport right now. I have about 3 hours here until my flight back up to Detroit on November 5, Wednesday, 3rd of November, another A350. We're going to be in economy on that one. So, like I said, best of both worlds, Delta 1, then followed by economy. So we have about 3 hours here, and I'm actually just going to cut to when we're boarding on the second Airbus A350. So you guys don't have to just watch me just like wait around here in the airport for the next 3 hours.
3 hours later.
Okay, so long story short, I actually did end up filming some stuff from the stopover. Our next A350 back up to Detroit boards in roughly 5 minutes. So basically, I actually went up and I'm over to the B gates after I got off the flight. Down here from Detroit, I went from the E gates we were parked all the way to the B gates to meet up with my buddy Connor. So I met up with him for a few minutes. We caught up, we talked for a bit. Because he was actually flying on another Delta flight up to DCA, Reagan. So after I talked to him, I actually went and got myself some late lunch, early dinner, if you want to say that. So I got myself some Wendy's for that. And after that, I pretty much started my way coming over here to the E gates. We're going to go ahead and board our second Airbus A350 on up to Detroit. So we're seated in 50A on this one, November 510 Delta November. So yeah, other than doing literally nothing at ATL for 3 hours straight other than eating and walking around because literally the only airline here is Delta, it was then time to board the second A350 back up north.
Oh, you just flew with me.
Oh, that was you, wasn't it? How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, up here on the second A350 of the day.
Yeah, if you would come back up and try.
Let's do it, yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, man,
How you doing? Yeah.
How are you?
How is it?
Back to Detroit.
Oh, you already know. Yeah.
Just a round trip for you, huh?
Exactly, yeah, that's what I was saying. So how's the trip back up to Detroit going on?
It's going to be bumpy, kind of like it was coming down earlier.
Okay,
today.
yeah, right.
Just as you can tell, it's breezy out there.
Yeah, no, there was a gusty approach coming in here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was bouncy.
Yeah. Yeah, we were having a discussion earlier today about like that these things are like built for like the long hauls and stuff like that. Yeah, and that was just not worth doing the short hauls.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They serve a purpose.
They do, yeah. I mean,
stuff done with them.
I mean, hub to hub. I mean, this route right here.
We're full, so we're
Yeah.
making money on them.
There you go. I mean, it gets the job done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both rather be heading to somewhere exotic like Tokyo.
Right. Like, or Sydney. I've been to Sydney.
Someplace like that.
Or Joburg.
Joburg.
Yeah, that's a big one. Have you done that one yet?
Those kind of things. So I haven't done Joburg.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We normally fly out of Los Angeles, so we don't go that way.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We go to Asia.
Nice. So you're usually doing LA to like South Pacific Asia?
We do
Nice, yeah.
Sydney for the most part.
Sydney, yeah. So what's probably the best place you've taken the 350, in your opinion?
Best place I've ever taken a 350? Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, nice. Schiphol, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Keep waiting for us to go to Munich in this thing.
Oh, I bet, yeah. I saw that the 507, the last one we were on, it was coming from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was headed.
Right, yeah. And then this one was from Haneda, Tokyo.
Is that where it's going after we get...
No, I think it came from Haneda
Oh,
after
it
this.
did.
Yeah.
We're taking it to Detroit, and I don't know if it's going anywhere out of Detroit.
Really, yeah.
Might be spending the night. No, we leave it there and we turn around and come back.
Nice, yeah. So you're doing the other turnaround?
What's that?
You're doing the other turnaround?
Yeah, we're
Nice,
doing
yeah. Yeah.
So, got 3 legs today, which is why I prefer long haul. We only-
That's true, yeah.
only do one.
Yeah.
It works hard.
Yeah. I was talking to the other when I flew the M330neo back in November. Quote unquote, I prefer the long hauls because like, you know, 1 flight a day opposed to like 4, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, the same guy that took me down is gonna take me back up. I made my way all the way back to my seat of 50A. 50A has a width of 18 and a pitch of 31. As expected, regular economy is a lot more basic, with the only amenities being a tray table, universal power, and the IFE. The IFE is completely identical to the one of 31, so I won't bother going over it again. The window shades on the second A350 were a lot better shaped than the one on the first A350. Empty middle, baby. After everybody boarded, we pretty much pushed back on time. There was a Delta A330 going to Sao Paulo pushing back right beside us, but it actually had a maintenance issue during its pushback, so that actually delayed our pushback and taxi. But before we knew it, they let us go, and we were on our way to runway 27 right for departure.
We expect to make that on time this evening. Once we get airborne, we have 1 hour and 38 minutes of flying time. We, as you can tell, it's pretty windy outside. We do expect the initial portion of the flight to be a little bit bumpy, so I've asked the flight attendants to remain seated for just a little bit after takeoff. If you would please pay attention to the fasten seatbelt signs as well. We also have the same issue going into Detroit. It's pretty windy and pretty bumpy going in there, so we will probably turn the seatbelt sign on a little bit early going into Detroit for everybody's safety. And again, please pay attention to the fasten seatbelt sign. Anytime we do have the light off, as always, we advise that you keep your seatbelts fastened in the event we encounter turbulence that we're not expecting. Once we get up to our cruise altitude, we'll get back with you then and update the weather and the estimated time of arrival there into Detroit. In the meantime, if you would, please settle in and relax. Once again, welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy your flight with us this evening. We are glad to have you with us.
Flex, SRS, right now. Beacon blue, power set. High speed left. V1, VR, V2. I went ahead and bought one of the buy on board earphones since I forgot my own and took advantage of the IFE. I put on the Office, but the sunset out the window with the wing view is pretty distracting. We leveled off at 40,000 feet and the cabin crew came around with the same snacks and drinks as they did in Delta 1 earlier. Cinnamon cookies, almonds, and Coke products. And with my second A350 in the logbook, it's now time to rate it. We'll rate it using the same rating scale as we've done the last flight. To the service, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10, so very mediocre and what you'd expect from a domestic economy flight. Nothing wrong, regular trash runs. I was way too focused on the magical powers of Michael Scott to use the Wi-Fi, so that's not applicable.
I saved a life. My own. Am I a hero? I really can't say, but yes.
The cleanliness was a 10 out of 10, nothing wrong. I didn't eat anything on this flight due to another lunch back in Atlanta, so that's not applicable either. The entertainment on this flight was a 10 out of 10, nothing wrong, lots of choices on the IFE, beautiful sunset out the window, and honestly, my boy Kevin is just automatically giving this a perfect 10. The seat was a 10 out of 10. I can't penalize it for too much. It has everything a basic economy seat needs for a long-haul aircraft. IFE with a variety of multiple power sources. I didn't have anything to complain about, and this flight was very basic. I can't penalize it for a lot if I'm setting my expectations appropriately, so the overall Delta Airlines economy flight gets a 10 out of 10. And that's gonna be it for the trip report. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video on the 2 Airbus A350s down to Atlanta and then back to here. There's 510 parked behind me, the plane that just got me back up here from Atlanta. And that was a really just great flight overall, great memories with the crew. It was nice having the same captain that brought me back up here twice. But anyway, I don't have anything else booked, so I don't know what my next trip report's gonna be. Ooh, sorry, my bad. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.